Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Testimony. I'm your host, Matt McGuire. Glad to have you with us and looking forward to today's episode. We'll say, unfortunately, again today, we do not have Brother Caleb or Brother Brady. They will be coming back soon, but things came up, so they were not able to join me today. But I do have a special guest, like I did the last time. I had my kids on with me last time and enjoyed that so much. This week, I have a special guest with us that I've been wanting to have on, and finally we was able to get her on. And if you can guess by the tone of my voice, it's my lovely wife, Shelbi. I'm glad to have her with us. How you doing, Shelbi?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great and enjoying sitting here and recording. I think we've got a good episode. She's told me that I need to be less serious, so we're going to try and bring kind of a more fun episode to you, and it's our story. I think we have a great story, the best story, and we've been through a lot of ups and downs, but God has been there every step of the way with us, and we have a story to tell. It's a crazy but good one. If you know us, we're definitely quiet when we go out, but when you get us at home with our kids and stuff, we're totally different. I think a little bit. Close family, no, but I'm glad she's on with me. You want to say anything?
I'm glad to be here, I guess.
All right. She's glad to be here. So we're going to jump into it. And like I said, I had my kids on with me and was glad to have them on. I'm glad to have my wife on, and I'm sure that, Brother Caleb will probably have his family on at some point if Michaela will come on. But we're still trying to work that one out, aren't we? But I'm sure that they'll have their family on, and then Brother Brady and Sister Sam will come on and have their own episode. But for today, I'd like to just kind of sit here and tell you all a little bit about our story and how we met and different things. And it has been a long road, it seems like, but not long enough. God has blessed us and helped us, and we'll just kind of start with how we met. I think that we started talking. I don't even remember what it was. 15 years ago,
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, but we met at Dryden Road. I
Yeah.
guess it was our official meeting place. I went there. I think it was a Tuesday night, or maybe it was a Thursday night. I don't remember their youth service. And I think I got up and said something, and then you were talking about your sister, and I asked my cousin that was there, I said, "Who is that?" And she said, "It's Matt McGuire." And I was like, "Oh." And so afterward, you were talking to them, and I was just standing in the group, but I didn't obviously say anything. But that was the first time I guess I officially encountered a conversation with you.
Yeah. What's kind of funny is that we have, so Shelby is the same as me as far as having big families. My grandpa was a sibling of 12.
Mm.
Your grandma was a sibling of 12. Was it 12, I think?
I don't even remember, to
Yeah,
be honest.
big families. But anyways, actually, our families grew up together. My dad grew up, around your grandpa, and even your grandma and your great grandpa, huh?
They all grew up on Penarol Hill.
Yeah, and so our families knew each other, but we didn't really. I mean, I think we probably knew of each other, or of our families at least, but we didn't meet each other till I think it was February, and I think that's when we kind of started talking just as friends, and then I mean, you can kind of share what your thought was. I don't even know. I don't even remember how I got your phone number, to be honest. That's bad.
You always say that I gave it to Leah at McDonald's or something like that. You say I gave it to somebody that was at McDonald's with you guys, that I made the first move and gave you my phone number, but I do not remember that.
Oh, well, I might be wrong. I don't know. I do remember being at McDonald's. We tried to get you and your mom and Ricky and them to stay,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to stay, or somebody didn't want to stay, so they didn't stay. But, anyways, excuse me. So that was February, and we kind of talked off and on there. And around youth camp time, which at that time was around June, wasn't it?
Yep.
There were some things that had happened and different things, and just kind of in my life, nothing bad, just things like directions I was looking for and different things. And I think June is when I started really thinking, man, I wonder what it would be like to talk to this girl. You know, she goes to church in Miamisburg. I've never been there. Wonder what it would be like to maybe take this to another level, kind of.
I think you had reservations because of our age gap.
Yeah.
You didn't want people to think bad of you because I'm a lot younger. Some people are married 10 and 12 and 20 years apart, so I don't really think 6 years is bad.
Yeah, well, and I don't mean it's bad, but there was maturity gaps, and you know, you were a lot smarter than you were a lot more advanced in your thoughts and different things as far as how you thought. At that point, you were already doing motherhood by helping raise your younger siblings. So I mean, that's kind of things that I mean. So you, even though you were 16 at that time, you acted like you were.
No, actually, I was 15 at that time.
Okay.
Because you asked me to. We started dating on my 16th birthday.
Right. And we'll just leave my age out, but you can probably figure it out by the years, and she said earlier. So, but anyways, so I think the age reservation was a lot, but I began to pray about it a little bit and ask God what to do. I was almost looking for somebody to marry, which is kind of crazy to think a 16-year-old that I was going to date a 16-year-old while thinking about getting married. So I prayed about it, and honestly, I didn't know what Mom and Dad would think about it, just because I didn't really tell them a lot about who I liked and who I didn't, just because I don't really know why. I just never did. But anyways, I think June was when I started kind of praying about it, and I don't know, were you around the same time or a little earlier? Or?
I think it was around the same time. I remember texting you, and at the time, I think you were in Kentucky with your grandma. Your grandma was passing away. She was sick, and I was texting you, and you asked if I could call. And so I remember the first time that I talked to you on the phone, I was like, that was nice. Like, maybe I do like him. So, and then when you got back from Kentucky, we just kept texting, and then I think it was in June that Mom said, somebody's here to see you, and I was like, who? And I walked outside, and you were sitting out in your blue Mustang.
Yeah.
And you said, do you want to go get an ice cream or something? So we ended up going to McDonald's, and you got an apple pie, and you got me. I said, I'll pay for mine, because I wanted a Oreo McFlurry. And you said, no, I got it. And so after that, we ate it in the McDonald's parking lot. You took me home, and I was just sitting there, and after that, I was like, I do like him.
Well, clarification, I do believe in chaperones. Did we have
Yeah,
one?
we weren't dating, and I know people like believe in chaperones, but honestly, at that point, I didn't think that you would even be interested in dating me. I thought we were
Mm-hmm.
just more like friends.
Yeah.
So,
So we went back, and I think I stayed at your house on. Was it home? Was that Home Avenue? Is that
no, that was Arlington.
Arlington? Yeah.
Hmm.
And what was funny was just side note, my aunt and uncle had built a house like 4 houses up on the opposite side of the road,
Hmm.
and right when you turn on the road, so I was familiar with the area. And so when we got there, we kind of played outside, Caleb and Conley and Sammy, and went in for a little bit. And one thing that we never forget is that your mom was cleaning her coffee pot
Oh
with
yeah,
vinegar.
the whole house smelled
And
disgusting.
I think Shelby was afraid for me to go inside because she didn't want us.
The one
Yeah.
time a boy that I like comes over and mom's cleaning her coffee pot.
But it didn't bother me. I mean, so it kind of went from there, and then went to your 16th birthday party,
Hmm.
and I think there's when I made the decision that I was gonna see if I could ask you out,
Hmm.
and um, um, I don't remember if I asked your mom.
I think you did. I think you did ask her because I remember. Um,
She knew, so I
Maybe
think
it
I
was when
did.
you were asking her to marry me or something. I remember you taking her at that point. We had moved to
Oh,
Rapids Drive.
yeah, that's when I asked her to marry you. But I think I did ask her because I was worried about the age gap.
Hmm.
So and she can correct me if I'm wrong. I think I did ask.
I mean, you had to have asked, or she would have probably thought you were
Well,
crazy.
she knew that I wanted you to come to Dad's Pastor Appreciation,
Hmm.
and so Shelby's birthday was on Dad's Pastor Appreciation that year on Sunday. So I had him come or asked him to come, and then do we even remember who? I can't even remember who was preaching. Was it Brother Bill Finley?
I think it was actually, yeah.
Yeah, and um, she came that day, and I think I had some flowers or something,
Hmm.
and I didn't have
Kept
them
it
with
in the
me.
refrigerator.
I had them somewhere. I don't remember where I had them, but um, I think I did. They did know because they're standing behind us,
No, I think
giggling.
they did know because we had ate and everything, and we were getting ready to leave to go back to church. And we're all getting in the van, and mom's like, Shelby, I think Matt wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay. So I walked over there, and I could tell Ricky and Chelsea were acting weird. I was like, something's up. What is going on? And so I walked over to talk to you, and that's when you said, I've liked you for a really long time, and I was just wanting to know if you would be my girlfriend.
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah.
she said, "Yeah." We're still. She's probably questioning that
No.
answer, but so that was definitely one of those things that kind of is done, you know, and I really didn't think about people's reactions or anything of that. I was just glad that you said yes, and so she ended up staying that night. You
Well,
know,
I didn't say that
well,
night.
at the church.
Yes. And then there was a person uh, that was at that dinner. You had asked me, and mom was like, you can stay here. You don't have to go to church. And so I was like, okay. And I walked back there, and you had went off to play volleyball. And I was just standing at the top watching everybody. And
I tried to get her to play volleyball, but she
yeah,
wouldn't.
somebody that I don't hardly play volleyball to this day.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody that went here at the time was like, "So, are you and Matt cousins?"
oh,
I was like, "No, we have family that's related, but I mean, I don't think I didn't grow up with him or anything. He's not
yeah.
my cousin." So I just thought that was funny.
So what did you tell him?
I said no.
I know that, but did you tell him that we
I
started
said, no,
dating?
actually, I'm his girlfriend.
I don't even know who came and asked you,
Well,
but
I don't want to say their name.
that's okay. I'm not saying say it. I would like to see their face, but
Yeah, it
but
was funny.
because it was quick. I mean, no, that day we started when we met everybody there for church. We weren't dating, but then now we are. So
I do remember at a youth rally that you guys had here. I don't even remember what month it was, but I had come for a youth rally and I sat in the front with Jen. And they were up singing, and I was just always taught, like, growing up, when they're singing, close your eyes and worship. So that's what I was doing, and when I opened my eyes, I just happened to look up, and Matt was staring down at me. I don't know why, that's like a vivid memory in my head. Guess because you were looking so cute.
oh, you're the only one that thought that. But anyways, um, so
Embarrassed you.
yeah. Well, so we started dating on her birthday, on her 16th birthday, and I do remember one thing. I remember meeting your dad for the first time, and that was interesting. I think my heart hit the floor, but I love Sean. But at this point, I have never met him. So, somebody coming in to date his daughter, especially in the age gap, you're like, whoa, what's he gonna say or what's he gonna think? But but ultimately, I think he loves me. Well, but
So.
but I remember that's one vivid memory that's in my mind. And so we talked where we dated, and then I working at the cemetery there then. So I was working at the cemetery, and I was in a job, and she was going to school, and we kind of around Thanksgiving time, we um, around Thanksgiving time, I got to pray, and I felt God tell me, "This is the person you're gonna marry." Like the same year, and that was something that you know, um, it was a whole new level for me because the age gap. There's no way, there's no way we'll have to have her parents sign off, but in being around her, I loved her and wanted to marry her. So I began to pray about it, and I remember around Thanksgiving time. I think it was Thanksgiving. I told Dad. I said I think I want to marry her, and which I don't know why. I always had trouble talking to him. Even if they disagreed with my choice for girls, they never. I mean, they would let me know, but they never made me. I don't. I want to say they don't. They never made me feel bad. They told me to pray about it, and he didn't. He acted different when I told him that I wanted to marry you, and so prayed about it for a little bit, and then um, that's when I went and asked your mom if I could marry you. I didn't really see a lot. I mean, we really didn't go to your dad's a lot. I mean, we did, but not a lot. So I asked her mom, and then I asked her to come on the porch, which is what you alluded to earlier, and I think she was happier at the moment than than not. She was happy, I guess. I don't know if she is now, but but she did say yeah. We did have a good conversation. Um, the promise was to when we got married, promise was to make sure that you graduated, and that's the first thing that we do is make sure that you finish school. I remember, and I'm gonna kind of go through this a little quick. I remember after I asked her, then when I got a globe, and I was showing her, we was at Crystal Bryant's mom's house at Christina's house, I think, in Miamisburg. Christine, yeah. We was at their house in Miamisburg, and I took your mom over to my car, the Mustang, and had the globe in the back, and was showing her. Did you notice anything at that time?
No, I remember that, and I remember you showing her something, but I wasn't thinking anything of it, to be honest. Just for context, we started talking in February. We started dating in September 18th. And then when you asked me to marry you, it was December 3rd. So
Yes.
It wasn't even quite 3 months of dating yet.
Yes.
But, I mean, we had been around each other, and
even before we talked, we had been around each other.
yeah.
And so, I mean, we had known each other a while. So February wasn't the first time that we met. Met.
Mm-hmm.
We had
It's
known
just when
of
we
each other.
started consistently talking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, face to face.
Yeah.
That's probably maybe the second or third time we had talked to each other, and that's really when we, submitted knowing, or really knew each other. But go ahead. So we got the globe. You didn't know anything was going on. Did Katie know? Because she was there.
I don't know if she knew or not.
So we.
See, I don't, all of this is happening behind the scenes. So I don't know anything's even going on.
Yeah.
Because I remember the day that you were coming to get me to take me to propose. You had to work that morning.
Yeah.
And I, for some reason, started not feeling well. So I went in Sammy's room and was taking a nap. And when you got there, you asked Mom where I was. And you guys had to come and wake me up.
Oh. I don't even remember that.
Yeah. And then we went to Kroger. And you bought a bouquet of flowers. And you're like, let's go see Taryn's grave.
Well, so this is weird how I proposed. And I wish I'd had people taking pictures, but I didn't. I was just set on it being us for some reason. But I wish, and we've talked about this, I wish we would have went back. I wish I would have had somebody taking pictures.
Yeah.
But just to kind of clarify something, I told Shelbi a few things, but the one thing I told her in the process of dating is I'd buy her flowers and different things, but I would never get red roses, and I felt like I needed to explain to her that I'm not going to buy red roses until I find the one.
Because red roses mean true love.
Right, and I have given roses to girls before, just as flowers, so I made up in my mind that I wasn't going to buy red roses until I found the one, and I knew I was going to marry that person. So I picked her up, and two, this was a dinner that we were going to have for Christmas. We were having our church Christmas dinner, and so we went to Kroger. I said, get flowers, and let's go see Taryn real quick before we go to this dinner. And so I'll let you tell your perspective.
So we went to Kroger. I helped him pick out what would later become my flowers. And
hey, I mean, you picked the ones you wanted.
He said, "Are you sure those are the ones you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, those are really pretty." And he's like, "All right, let's go put them on our grave." So Taryn is his sister, for people that don't know.
Yeah.
She passed away. We went to Taryn's grave, and we were standing there just talking for a minute, and then he walks over to.
I don't think we'd ever gotten out before right there. I don't think we've ever. This is probably one of the first times you'd ever been to her grave, right?
Yeah, I think we one day when we were out with your mom and dad, we stopped. But
Okay.
I think this was the first time that we had ever been by ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we're standing there talking, and he goes to put the flowers down on the grave, and then he kneels down and starts talking to me, and he gets down. He's on one knee, and for a minute, I didn't register what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always gives me a hard time about it, but
Well, because she looked at me and she, well, let's just tell him what you said.
I said, "Don't tell me you're doing what I think you're doing."
And then he told me to get up.
I don't remember telling you to get up, Matthew.
Oh, well.
You always say that, but I don't remember that.
Okay. Well.
So then he asked me to marry him, and of course I said yes. And
So part of the whole reasoning by that is when we was going there, I actually played a song that was sung by this.
Simpson sisters.
Yeah, but it was the
oldest daughter, Sabrina. I
yeah,
think,
and her husband were singing a song
to each other.
to each other. So I played that on the way there, and I don't even remember what it was, to be honest. But anyways, good song. But
We had it in our wedding.
Yeah, we did. But when I got there, I told Shelby that I'd give family roses and stuff. And so what I did was I took the roses and then I went over to the grave where she was standing there, and I pulled one of the roses out and I laid it on Taryn's grave where she was. And then I turned around with the roses, the 11 roses, and proposed to Shelby. And I know it was weird, but to me it was a sentimental thing where I could involve my sister, and I know it was the burial site, but it to me felt like I was able to involve her in that. And so we went back and
when you were done and I said yes, we went to the back of your Mustang and got my globe.
yes. And one thing about that one was it was a globe from Things Remembered, which is a engraving service that we had in the Dayton Mall up here in Dayton, Ohio. It's no longer there, but it was a heart in the middle, and then it was like glitter that would go up and come down like it was snowing. But it was the 50 years of Make-A-Wish?
Yeah, I think so.
And so that was another part that was attached to my sister, because they initially had done Make-A-Wish for her, and she was going to do something, but she didn't live long enough to do it. Mm-hmm. So when you bought those globes, you were able to donate part of your price was going to them. Mm-hmm. So that was another way we kind of tied it in there to recognize and honor her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we went back to the dinner. I think, everybody, I don't know how they really reacted, but that was fairly quick.
Yeah. I remember telling Myrtle, Matt proposed today, and she's like, he did. Like, surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, I just felt like God was okay with it. God was for it. So, I mean, at this point, we didn't really know when we was going to get married. But, I think at this point I was okay to wait, if I had to wait till you got out of high school and stuff. But, we had that conversation with your mom as far as, making sure you graduate and different things. And ultimately kind of push the story along a little quicker here. Shelby, so we ended up getting married. We went and told a few people, when talked to her, went to talk to her dad and different things, and told the people that we wanted to tell. And I remember I was sweating bullets because at any point your mom and dad could have said no, we're going to wait, and we wouldn't have been able to get married. Yeah. And they didn't. And I'm not saying, I mean, that that's kind of that's a big deal. I don't know exactly what they thought. And I've never really asked them. I've never had the courage to ask them what they were thinking. But
I do remember whenever we went to so we started dating the junior year of my high school experience, and then Matt asked me to marry him. We ended up getting married October 20th of 2012, which was my senior year, right?
Yeah. You were going into your senior year. Yeah. You'd started it. Yeah.
I remember going into the principal's office and asking to have the days off school for my honeymoon. And the principal was like, "You're getting married?" Like, I was only 17. It was my senior year of high school. And she's like, "Well, okay. I mean, is that something you want to do?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to do it. No one's forcing me to." So then the principal goes to the secretary and she says, "I need you to put in your computer that Shelbi Estes can have, I think it was like the 23rd through the 27th off school. It'll be excused." And she's like, "Okay, what's the reason?" And she's like, "She's going to be on her honeymoon." And the secretary was like, "Holy cow, Batman." It was funny.
Well. So that's about how everybody reacted, as far as they just I don't think if I would have really thought about it, I probably would have acted the same way. Mm-hmm. But I remember, kind of hurrying this up a little bit. It's a little lengthy, but we got married, went on our honeymoon. What's even funnier is that when you graduated,
I was expecting.
You was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Taryn.
I was 29 weeks.
Yeah. And so things kind of happened fairly quickly. Some were different than we would have thought, but I wouldn't go back and change anything. Mm-hmm. But I think if we think about it a little bit, we think maybe it would have been smarter to kind of do things a little bit different, in a sense. I don't want to say we would change anything, but it was always in the back of our mind to have a family, and we just did it earlier than a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't change anything for what for what we experienced as a family. We had Taryn in 2013. We had Lincoln 2015. Mm-hmm. We had Liam in 2016. Mm-hmm. And we had Tatum in 2019.
No, she was a COVID baby.
2020. 21, yeah.
And 2020, babe.
Or 2020, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was saying 2020 and you said, and I didn't know if that's what you were saying, but yeah, so I know their birthdays. It's easier for me to remember their birthdays, not the birth years, but then if you go on in our life, we, several things that we've had. Shelbi was diagnosed with cancer. What year was that? 2021. So right after she had Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum was 7 months old.
And God helped her through that. And then, different things happened. Had my heart issues and different things, and we've been through a lot, but God has been faithful to us. God has helped us, and God has been on our side. That'll be another. I mean, we'll come into that in another story or another episode, I should say. We'll have to kind of go through that. Our life story is probably 3 or 4 episodes long, but I do want to play a quick game if you want to, Shel.
Sure.
And this game is Would You Rather questions. I'll ask her one, and then she can ask one, and then we'll kind of go from there. Would you rather travel forever or settle down?
I like to travel some. The thing about traveling for me is I don't like driving. I don't like the car ride. It takes too long.
Yeah.
And so I think settling down would probably be what I pick.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I wouldn't mind traveling. Whatever, whatever God wants us to do. But I think I am one that would rather settle down. But I'll be honest with you, I have been trying to get her to go to Hawaii for years, and I would like to go to Hawaii.
We were supposed to go for our 10-year anniversary. And
Yeah, and it got canceled.
maybe 15 or 20 years.
We could do 15. That's next year.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. You go ahead. Next one.
Okay, well, would you... Oh, this was a good one for you. Would you rather never speak or always sing? If you know Matt, you know he's not a singer.
Well, I like to sing,
Yeah, you do.
but I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So, it's easy for me to get in groups and not sing, not speak. If I could sing, I would always sing.
Yeah.
But I would say probably never speak.
I don't know.
Here's a good one. This is a good one. Would you rather always be 5 minutes late or 20 minutes early?
Well, I know what you're going to say is we are always 5 minutes late. But I would rather be 20 minutes early.
This is one of those things, right? And it's really not Shelb's fault. But like we are late most of the time.
But who's the one rushing people?
Well, because we're running late.
No, I'm always saying, kids, get your shoes on. Kids,
Oh.
come here so I can brush your hair. Brush your teeth. Go stand by the door.
We'll just leave that one there.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather go back to our first date or jump 50 years ahead?
Oh, go back to our first date.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Me too. That was fun.
Just
Actually,
because if
Jennifer-
you jump 50 years, you're missing the 50 years that you would have had together.
Yeah, that's true. Jennifer went with us on our first date.
Yeah.
To Chili's.
Yeah.
Would you rather share a dream or a memory?
I would say a memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think memories are more priceless than dreams.
Yeah. I got one for you.
What?
Would you rather have 10 kids or 10 pets?
10 kids.
I would. Yeah, me too.
We have one pet, and it's a struggle.
He's a good
He is a good dog,
one.
yeah.
But let's do one more piece. I got one.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather always hold hands or always hug?
Hold hands. I love hugging you, but I think holding hands, we could still do other things.
Yeah, I agree. We usually
We can
if
still
we
take the kids to the park, and we can still go to dinner, and we can...
yeah, and usually, if we try to hug each other, there never fails. There's a kid that pops in between us, and Tatum's terrible
Most
for
of
it.
the time it's Tatum.
But I love them. We love our kids, so we're not gonna.
Yeah.
But
Would you rather share a brain or a heart?
a heart,
That's sweet.
because you have a pure heart.
Oh. Look at at you being all cute.
No, truly. I'd rather share a heart.
Would you
But-
rather have a surprise date or a planned one?
Well, what do you think I'd want?
I want you to surprise me with a planned date.
And she knows that I like to have everything planned to the T. We're getting ready to go on vacation, and here in September, and of this year, and she. So it's us and her family, and her dad. Who is it that? It's your dad, Michaela, myself.
My sister and brother-in-law.
Yeah, we like to know what we're doing, and so she was joking. She said, "I got to make an itinerary so we know exactly
No,
what
I
we're
really
doing."
am. I'm gonna
Oh.
have a somewhat summary of what we're doing that day, so no one's in a tizzy.
Yeah. Shelby, do you have any other words you'd like to say today before we go?
I have truly enjoyed life with you. You're my bestest friend.
You're my bestest friend too.
I
I love you. Thank you for coming on the podcast with us, and we want to thank everybody else for joining us for this episode of Beyond the Testimony and Matt and Shelby's story. There'll be a second episode as well eventually, but we are truly grateful you took the time to listen and to be a part of this community. You can listen to Beyond the Testimony on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. If today's episode encouraged you, I don't know if it challenged you or if it spoke to you in any way, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on our social media platforms. Share your thoughts, your questions, and even your feedback on your own testimony, or even the feedback on this episode. We would love to hear what you thought about Shelby and I's story. If any of you lovebirds had the same type of story, or how you met your lovely wife, or let's say handsome husband. If you have any of those, please send them our way. You can also email us directly at beyondthetestimony@gmail.com. Whether it's comments, questions, or topics you'd like to cover, we want to hear from you. And remember, Beyond the Testimony has come to you, and enjoying with life with your spouse is the greatest thing. Let us know about it. And glad you joined us today. And until next time, this has been Beyond the Testimony.